because I was making a very conscious decision from becoming an actor into a director, I knew there was things I was very skilled at in terms of knowing the actor's process, knowing the actor's language, knowing how to get a performance out of someone, because I was not only an actor, but I was an acting coach. I knew there were a lot of technical things I did not know. And I said, well, what can I do and how can I do that for free? Or how can I do that on a job when someone's paying me to do another job? So I tried to fill in the gaps. I would take myself to the AFI library, which was close to my house, and wasn't a library I could check things out of, but they recorded every single lecture that anybody ever did there. And I went, oh, I can listen to these. I can listen to Sydney Pollack. I can listen to, anybody else who had been there and learn from what they were teaching these film students who were paying a lot of money for tuition.
And now you can probably do that through AFI Online, but you can certainly do it through the DGA.org, which has a whole visual history interviews with the world's best directors. Talk about learning from the best, right? And you can do that easily online. You want to say?
I'm going to say I'm very suspect of directors who say I'm not getting the opportunity if they haven't done their homework. And there's a huge amount of homework that can be done. My philosophy when I knew I wanted to change from being an actor to a director was to get up every morning and I had to work at it. I had to work at it. And if I went to sleep that day, I had not done my job as a student who wanted to learn how to direct.
And also, these days, you can make your own films and learn about filmmaking on your phone. You don't need to wait for someone else to give you the opportunity. You can write a scene. You can, coerce your family into being the actors and shoot it and then cut it and then understand more about filmmaking and the next time do it better and the next time do it better and the next time do it better. I have absolutely no empathy for those that are waiting for somebody else to give them a job. Acting with grace comes from a basic knowledge that everything is okay. That you just know that whatever comes up, obstacle-wise, anything that feels like it's going to be an inhibition on what you want to achieve, you will get through it. You will find the way over it. It will make you be better. Whatever it is, it's all okay and it's all going to be okay. And that is a state of grace. It requires that you be confident in your skills, but more than that there's something bigger than you that's helping you along.
And also knowing that the actors are going through some firsts, their first kiss on screen, their first big love scene, their first time they're playing a murderer and investigating those parts of themselves. To do things in a respectful environment and knowing that they're protected and that someone's valuing the choices and the risks they're taking, allows for them to find their most creative self.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it goes that way also for crew. When you have created an environment where people feel valued, then that allows the director of photography to say, ooh, I just got this great idea based on your blocking. What if we did this? The dolly grip can say, oh, I have a good way to do this shot, or the camera operator, or whomever. Everybody is contributing, and the more they feel valued and the more they feel respected, the more they're willing to give. Because you can certainly do it without that, but then the director's kind of standing alone, and the crew, are not volunteering their valuable knowledge because you've put up a wall. You're saying, I'm not welcoming you. But if you welcome everybody and value everybody, your end project will be better.
Basically, you called us artists. Well, we think of them as artists. Now, ultimately, there's still the responsibility as a director for us to designate the choices. So we might be offered a lot of things, but ultimately it's our choice which suggestions to take. But the suggestions won't come to us unless we create that atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. And also, you say it, if you're going to decline that suggestion, you do it in a loving way, and so they feel like the next time they can give it. You don't shut people down.
I had been given some advice by a woman director named Lee Shallett Schemmel, who said, don't go on set and try to be a guy. Bring everything that's special about you as a woman to your directing experience, because that will make it different from a guy director. And all those attributes are perfect for being a director. Be nurturing, be intuitive, and not that is exclusive to femaleness. There are men who are intuitive, et cetera, and conversely, you can be strong and wise and clear. But she said, don't exclude those special things about you that are inherently female and motherly. She knew I was a mom. That will be an attribute on the set. And she also suggested that I wear a baseball hat, which I don't do, but she does.
Why did she say that?
Oh, she said it's easy for people to spot who you are. She's not the only person. I've heard men who say that too. Always wear a baseball hat.
Oh no, that takes away my femaleness right
Me
there.
too. Me too. I
mean,
want to
I
make
do.
sure my hair looks good.
Yeah, me too. Unless it's windy outside, and then okay, I'll do it.
And Leslie Linka Glatter always says, bring the lipstick and reapply.
Yes, and I do that too.
I do that too.
Because it all goes to being your best self as a director, being the most full version of yourself you can be, not trying to be like somebody else. So, first of all, that demands that you know who you are, and then what is your best version of yourself? Well, on an external level, I look better with makeup than without. My hair looks better when I do it. And I want to present myself as being respectful of myself to cast and crew. A lot of male directors show up in a scuzzy t-shirt and jeans, and I think, don't you have any self-respect? And how do you expect other people to respect you? I'm not saying dress up. I'm just saying present yourself as a adult person and to be my best self in terms of my femaleness and my creativity and my empathy and my judgment. Be the best person / leader / visionary that I can be.
And practically, I very often, nearly every day, change my shoes at lunchtime.
Yes, that's good advice. I don't think the crew asks how you'd like to do things. They suss it out based on what they see you do. Because there's a lot of judgment that happens. It's a human thing. Here we are, day one, scene one. What is this director going to be like? And the actors do it, and the crew does it. And so at the end of that first scene, at the end of the first rehearsal, they're going to say, she knows what she likes, or the opposite. Or they're going to say, this is a good shot we're doing, or this is kind of basic, or whatever. But you can't work by thinking, oh, they're judging me. You just have to work from, I'm being the best me I can be.
It would be exhausting. Our jobs takes up enough energy to be worrying about the other stuff that we can't control.
Exactly. Which leads me to something that I live by is focus on what you have to give, not what you want to get, which is we all want to get approval. We all want to get the pat on the back. We all want to know that people like us. We all want to know that they think we're doing a good job, but you can't control that. You can't control how other people feel. What I can control and what I can focus on, which feels so great, is what I have to give, is how I see this story, how I see this scene, how much love I have to give to the actors, how much I can work with the DP to come up with the absolute best shot for this scene. I can focus on that, and that makes me feel better and give more than what are they thinking? Are they going to hire me again? Are they going to love this episode? Whatever. All the judgments that there are. Focus on what you have to give, not what you want to get.
Get rid of the judgments.
Yeah.
I raised my kids mostly while doing sitcoms, which were a very, very easy schedule. I ate dinner with my kids almost every night, except show night. And sometimes on one of my shows, the families came to dinner on show night
Wow.
and ate as families. And to this day, we're still all close. And let me just say, there were 6 babies born the first year I was in the show, and 7 babies born the 7th. So let's just say it was child friendly. Now, that being said, and this was even before I was directing, I spent close to 80% of the salary I was making to pay a nanny so that I could do the job I wanted to do, and I knew my child was being well taken care of. And sometimes that meant that my nanny was bringing my baby to the set so I could see my baby. And that knowing that I had a backup for me when I was busy, and sometimes, as there's an executive named Gail Berman used to say, and I have a backup for my backup. But that being said, you juggle the job. I also felt like I was the best mom I could be because every moment I had with my kids was a moment I really, really wanted to be there, and there was never any anger or resentment. They were taking me away from the artist I also wanted to be simultaneously. And I have a fantastic relationship with both my children. And I think they love the fact that they had a working mom growing up.
And I had one child, and I had a husband who stayed home. That's how we did it. And when I had a job out of town, they would go with me up until he was in 5th grade. And then it got too complicated. And then I tried to stay home as much as I could. But even if you're home, you're gone from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ideally, I would get home for bedtime. Is it perfect from the kid's point of view? I don't know. Not in the kid's shoes. I do know that my child had a parent at home. Great. That also meant my husband had to be willing to do that. And you have to find that. That's a rare jewel of a man. I think like anything, it's about love. I love my child with my whole heart and soul. He's the center of my existence. But I wouldn't have been a very good person or mom being home. Some people are more willing to do that, more able to do that. I could never have. It doesn't make me any less of a mom or him any less of my child. But you do have to find a way to make it work for you. It's hard. And I don't wish it to be any different, though. It all turned out okay.
Also, I have a loving husband who also is fabulous with both of our children. But that being said, I do find it easier to direct on location because there are absolutely no distractions. And if
Life
I want
gets
to get
simple.
up, it gets simpler. I can get up in the middle of the night if I want to rework something or do something that's show related and not worry about disturbing the pattern of the normal family life. And it always makes coming home really special.
So true.